And Kristen, you're in my view. Can you see the slide okay? Slide deck? Perfect. All right, great. Well, let's get going. It's June 8th, which is pretty wild and crazy. It's finally getting pretty toasty warm here in Colorado. So it's about time. Here's the calendar for the week and the month. Our call here today, and nothing on Tuesday, nothing real big going on Tuesday, but we've got the national call on Wednesday. Sales deep dive training from corporate. That's every Thursday. You can look for the link in HQ. Friday, we'll have the Shank Master Agency call. As a reminder, June is a 4-week turn-in month. And so the last day to submit business will be Friday, the 26th. And then the last day to get any business issued and across the finish line for your promotions is going to be on Tuesday, June 30th. So just kind of pay attention to that. And then in the Mac room of our dreams, it's where we go to do our work. Here's kind of the schedule for the week. Lots of times for each one of us to take a look at live dial opportunities in the greater Mac room. One that is always a good one to point out is the dial time with Gino Locklear. Oftentimes he is dialing on bonus leads, which is a fantastic opportunity for those of you who are new here to listen to how he uses just some of the language. So pay attention to that one. We've also got our very own Jordan Shank Summer Friesen. It looks like they are dialing in the afternoon today. So go ahead and hop over there for that. Any other trainings that you're looking for, like if you're building a team, the Be a Better Builder on Thursday is fantastic. And also, if you're brand new, we want to point out on Wednesday is the new agent activation. That is a great one. It's not one you need to go to, repeatedly, but at least once, go in. It's an hour long. Go in and kind of hear what the things are that are going to be important for you as you are onboarding and kind of getting up and running. So that is on Wednesday, new agent activation. And then, of course, we have our Gains Agency breakout room. Go ahead and join or click down at the bottom of your Zoom and click join Gains breakout room. It's kind of been fun because our breakout room has been had the most attendees in it, which is super fun. So love seeing everyone there. So want to see you there. Elevate Forward call is actually 5 days a week now, with a primary focus on Tuesdays and Thursdays for people in their first 90 days or still working on those first 6 applications. We want to be really just directive and intentional on Tuesdays and Thursdays with those of you who are kind of in that phase of the business. But every day, Monday through Friday, we would love to have you there. Quick 30-minute call, touch base, ask questions, whatever you need, wherever you're stuck, hurdles, overcoming, show up there. The FAO call for our builders, future agency owners. If you have achieved an 85% contract level and you are consistently producing 3 out of the 4 weeks, pretty consistently every month, and you have a desire to build an agency of your own, we would love to have you come join us in this call. It takes place on Thursdays, and we love to share ideas, strategies, and just encourage one another as we begin to build our businesses here. That is an opportunity. Talk with your upline and see if it's kind of timing wise, right for you. And we added a couple of faces to our Engage conference, which is coming up in September. We cannot wait to be there. This is always such a fun time, an opportunity for us to get the things that we really need to advance our business the next 6 months. So the courses or breakout sessions that maybe I sign up for, having been here 9 years, will be different for someone that in your first 90 days. All of that is really specific to where we're at in the business and what we need next. We are also going to combine a 2-day powerhouse, just intentional focus and opportunity for us to run appointments, to do interviews if you're a builder. Also, again, if you're brand new, opportunities for you to sit next to Gabrielle and just right as close to her as you can be without being seen on her Zoom video call. And like you are just right there listening, Gabs, right? Like, don't you want people like all around you staring right at you and listening to you run an appointment? How would that feel?
That would give me a certain amount of adrenaline that could be beneficial.
Tell me why. What does it cause you to do when people are watching and listening to you live? What do you do? What kind of focus do you have when people are doing that?
I feel so much clarity. Like every little thing that I'm like, oh, like usually after an appointment, I'm like, I kind of wish I said that. Or, like I kind of wish I went here. There's something about even just on the live dials, like
Mm,
video, but being in person, it's amplified that it just all comes to mind. And I'm like,
mm,
I should say this thing because you're putting it all out there because you have an audience. For me, that's always been super motivating, especially
mm,
that would be really fun in person.
mm. Cool. Thank you. So yeah, come join us at Powerhouse. It's going to be Monday and Tuesday before conference. We're working on like the location of where that's going to be, but it'll be a great time to just get ahead in the week, get some business written, run some interviews, listen into other people, and yeah, just be a fly on the wall and get some work done too. So we hope to see you there. All right, we've got some new people to welcome to the Gaines Agency. So, welcome to you, Rob Spencer. Um, Maybe you'll notice the last name similarity to somebody who is also brand new, only been here a few weeks. But Rob Spencer is direct to Miss Sarah Spencer. So, welcome to you, Rob. We're happy to have you here. And also, welcome to Caleb Ball, who has just jumped in and not even really sure exactly like what this is all about, what we're doing, but he said yes, and he's already in pre-licensing and running through that. So, welcome to both of you, gentlemen. We are happy to have you here. Let's see. We've got a bunch of new agents in the Cucciara uh, uh, building agency and all part of the Gaines Life team. Gabrielle or Daniel, you want to recognize some of the new faces we have here?
Yes, absolutely. Man, we got Woodley coming to us from New York, actually. We don't got a lot of people from New York. Mr. Jalen, he's on the call today. Welcome, welcome, Jalen. Julia, she's out there killing it. Ariana, Reagan, and Elise. Elise is our brand newest one. We are so excited. And also Alexander, too. We're welcoming Alexander. He's on this call today, too. What's up, Alexander? Welcome in.
Great,
Hey,
great. Awesome. Welcome to each and every one of you. Let's look at Lips and Life Group base shop. Jeff, are you out there? You want to give a quick shout out to the new faces we see here?
Yeah, I know we got Brandon in here. Super excited that you are here, man, and just getting all set up with your licensing. Maria as well, both of them out of California, which is newer for our team, and then David has got Kellebrew Insurance Group on the grow as well, and recently brought in Kayla. So really exciting about that, and I know that there's more to come there too. Welcome to everybody.
All righty. Thank you for that. Welcome to each of you. Thanks, Jeff. And look at all these faces of people that passed their exam in the last week. I think this may be a record. Somebody help me out here, but I think this might be a record for the number of agents who passed their exam in a week. So well done to you, Noah Ledoux, direct to Tim Coates, and Caitlin Rhodes, also direct to Tim Coates. Great job to you, Marilyn Clark, direct to Jeff Lipson. Congrats. And Olivia Frick, part of the Cucciara crew. Great job to both of you. And then in Kyle and Kristen Gaines agency, congrats to Chloe Wood and Bailey Anderson, all for passing the exam last week. Now you get to get going on all the fun stuff. So well done. Some shout outs and recognition for two of our just superstars in this agency. Daniel, congrats to you on 300 applications and a handsome new picture of you as well in that shirt that, just that color that looks so good on you, buddy. So great job on your 300 apps. And Tim Coates, no stranger to promotions either. Congratulations to you, Tim. 250 applications submitted. Well done. We celebrate you both. And some contract promotions. These are 3 people who have been working really like quick work, right? Quick work on promotions. I will say that. But very focused, intentional, and like know what they're after, and they're running towards it. So, Alona, look at you up there at 95. Next promotion, your face is off of that slide with all the bubble pictures, and that's a fun thing to be shooting for. So great job to you, Alona. And then Ryan Lunsford, congratulations on your quick promotion to 90% slingshot as well. And then Andrew Linick, wonderful, 85% first promotion. And I think the others will be pretty quick as well. So love this. It's so fun to get a raise, right? We get to decide. We get to decide when we get the raise, right? Not me, like we, as in I'm not pointing at myself, like I get to decide, but like we get to decide when each one of us gets our raise. So really fun and happy for each of you. And some weekend warriors, people out there working this weekend, serving families. Well done, Mr. Tim Romero, 2126. Jacob Kellebrew showing up on the board. One app 1702. Greg Geek on his countdown to 15 apps this month. Well done, Greg. One app 495. Johan Henry, one app 126. And then we had a last minute one I didn't notice, but Alona, Mr. Lipson saw that, and he added you to the slide deck. 2 apps this weekend for 579. So great job, you guys. We also had one new rider last week, part of the Cucciara crew, Cucciara and Company, all things Cucciara. Madison Wilson, congrats on your first application. May it be the first of many. 5K by Friday. This is last week's submit business. 5K by Friday. We had 2 agents hit that last week. Tim Coates, 6838 in production last week, and Alona Zamarin, 5,267. 5K by Friday last week. Well done. As a master agency so far this year, we are sitting at 1,057,270 with 42 riders. Both those numbers, again, going to be ticking up pretty quick. So great job to the entire team. Well done. All right, we'll go through the Jen Gaines Base Shop last week. We had 4 riders, submitted 7 applications, just under $11,100. Tim Coates with the number 1 spot, myself, 3 apps, 2741. Tim Romero, 1 app, 908. And Miss Monique Arnaud, 1 app for 612. Puts us at 271 submit in the base so far this year. K2, Kyle and Kristen Gaines Base Shop. Kyle Gaines coming in number 1 app, 1777. Greg with his 2 apps, 1223. Miss Gabrielle, 2 apps, 1031. Daniel, 1 app, 1025. Nice little close, tight race there between Mr. and Mrs. Cucciara. Anna Solzma, 1 app, 495. And Madison with her first app, 128. That brings the total to 5,680 submit for Gaines Life, just under 300,000 in submit for the year so far. Lipson Life Group Base Shop, 9,443 in submit business this week with Alona, number 1 spot there, 4 apps, 5267. Andrew, 1 app, 2556. Mr. Lipson, 1 app, 1040. Kevin Golden, 1 app, 545. And Allison, 1 app, 336. Look at that number though, year to date, just coming in under $500,000. That is really fun. How does that feel, Jeff? Look at what your team is doing.
It's exciting. The team is just gelling and coming together and growing. And the goal from the very beginning of the year in my mind was, for us to hit $1 million. And now I think the goal for all of us is, hey, can we do $1.5 million?
I don't think it's out of the question at all.
Yep.
All right. Great job, Lipson Life Group. Here's where we're at, just as everyone who's written an application so far after the first week of the month. Here we are for June, week 1. take a look, find your names, and see where you're at, and continue to grow your numbers. Great job. Our builders, writers, those who are bringing on new team members. Jeff still at the #1 spot with 8. Kevin and I with 3. Dave Calabru 2. Kuchiars with 2. Alona, Colin Kristen, and Tim Coates each with 1. Great job, builders. If you are here to build a team and eventually agency, this is a slide that you want to be on, creating that passive income. And here are the teams we have that are working towards their ownership. Daniel and Gabrielle, this is for the month of June so far, 4 apps, or excuse me, 4 writers, one being new, 2311, working towards month 1 of agency owner, just the beginning of the month. Mr. Coates working on his agency owner numbers as well, 2 writers, 7450. And then we've got Alona working on team leader, 2 writers so far, 8101 submit. That I'm not sure if that includes the 2 apps that you wrote. I think it might. Great job. 100 families served slide. This slide represents every person that has written and served 1 family. So we've got Gabrielle, who has happened to serve 83. Jeff will be fighting hard to take the #1 spot back, I'm sure, this week. Be a little bit of a showdown between the 2 of them. Jeff coming in at 81, Tim Coates 73, and Dave Calabru 59, Daniel 50. So great job, you guys. 745 families served by our agency so far in 2026. Just a quick reminder, since it's the beginning of the month, we're going to talk about the 4 cornerstones and the 4 keys to a successful week. This is what you want to look at if you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant in your business. The 4 cornerstones is a quick reminder. Believe in what we're selling, believe in what we're doing. MAC, massive action, constant correction. It's not like we do 2 things and forget about it. It's like lots and lots of activity is what's going to get us over the hump. Personal development, what are we reading? What are we listening to? And then association, who are we just talking to in this business? Who are we disassociating with? That's also can be an important one too. And then the 4 keys to having a successful week around here are the resources. Do we have people, clients to reach out to? If we are building, do we have people that we can be talking to about this opportunity? What systems are we using? Maybe it's funnel, calendars, like all kinds of things, CRMs, activity. Again, how much of it are we doing? And probably the most important one is the schedule. We probably should just even flip this around. Like, schedule is so important. If we're not like staying true and to ourselves with our schedule, things kind of just either fall apart or just really don't come together the way we intend or maybe want them to. So take a deep look at these things if you are kind of just needing to do an evaluation on where your business is at. And with that being said, it is a new month. And so what contract level or promotion are you working towards? If you're brand new and you're not working on a contract or promotion increase yet, you're working on getting through pre-licensing, throw it in the chat. I want to hear, like, what's everybody running for? Allison's going for 95. Greg, month 2 to 90. You can do that, Greg, for sure. Greg Otto, 85. Alona, 100, wanting to get her face off the bubble slide, which I love. Getting your license, Rob Spencer, promotions, all kinds of promotions. Colin Kristen, Tim, Jeff, Monique, wonderful job. Find somebody that is working towards maybe something that you are, or maybe someone that's one promotion ahead of you. Like, cheer them on. Let's find some running buddies and do what we can to earn commission promotions, right? This is the slide you want to work your way off of. So we had a couple people move their way on this slide, Ryan, Andrew, and then Alona, of course. And so moving your way across this slide is important, because it's the motivation that we need to, give ourselves a raise. So great job, everybody. All right, Kevin, you were going to chat with us just a little bit about some reset information. So I'll kind of let you chat about this if you're ready.
Yep, cool. So, hey, like we talked about, one way, I don't know, raise your hand if you'd like to have been here for a couple of months and had an influx of $16,000 into your bank account. I don't know. It's real. So there are story after story of folks that new agents that have, and we've had a few over time here over the last year even that have gotten $3,000, $5,000. $16,000 wasn't in this agency, but an agent had been here for a couple months, literally asked a question, a few things that we're going to go over here. So pay attention to some of this and just kind of get the juices flowing. I will say, get with your upline on how do you process a reset? How do they want you getting into the calendar, all those types of things. But these are questions that we can all be asking, things that we can just keep our ears open for. The other thing that I want to make sure is that if don't let your existing leads that you didn't write, don't let those disappear. You've paid the money, you may as well get as much out of it as you can. So what I mean by that is last year for Symmetry in 2025, and I know I'm going to be like a broken record here. 61% of all annuities that Symmetry issued last year, 61% of those came from mortgage protection leads that did not write a mortgage protection policy. And they did, I don't even know, was it 30 million they did in last year or 50 million in annuities business last year? So you can do the math. But the question is, who are we resetting? Essentially, everyone is a candidate potentially for a reset, whether you wrote a policy, you didn't write a policy, but these are some of the things you can keep an ear out for. They talk about debt. They talk about making overpayments, or they've got an old 401k or an old IRA sitting around. Yeah, I just don't want to lose that. And I will tell you this, y'all, from personal experience and hearing some of these horror stories that are out there, but old 401ks, a lot of times they're just sitting out there. They're sitting where the client left it when they left their old job in some sort of maybe a higher risk investment or mutual fund. They just want to protect it. So one of the things to keep in mind about things like annuities or protecting what you have is, it used to be that people would talk about, oh, how much money can I make on my money? Now people just want to know, am I going to get my money back? So when you hear people talk about market or risk or uncertainty or economy, those types of things, it's worth asking a question. I think I was talking with Kyle here. I think it was Kyle this weekend. He started at the beginning of all of his mortgage protection calls when they're talking about some of the finance stuff. He'll go, hey, there's something I want to make sure that I mentioned to you. Just remind me at the end of this call. And he's actually had clients that have reminded him, oh, hey, by the way, there was something you were going to tell me. So your clients are listening. Cash sitting idle. So they've got a bunch of money maybe in their savings account that's just sitting there earning 1.5%. Steady income. So people that have a steady income, but they don't really know what to do with some of their extra income. People that are getting close to retirement. It's worth asking the question. So again, get with your upline. We'll go next week. We'll go into the FIF, where you go, where you schedule, all those types of things. But this is just kind of a starting point. So another one of, oh, I never looked at that. You mean I can get out of debt in 9 years? Yep. House and all? Yep. And it's just kind of a rule of thumb, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to be the expert. In fact, you need to know very little other than how does your upline want you to do a reset? That's all you need to know. Hey, I've got a group of experts. I've got a team of experts. All they do is protect people's nest eggs, something to that effect. So yeah, side comments, opportunities. Okay, go ahead, hon. And then the last part is, there we go. So how do you plant the seed, right? What we focus on growth. So if you just have this, even have it in your, I think it was Jordan. I don't even know if he set the appointment. He had a lead. I don't even think he set the appointment. At the end of the conversation, he asked the question, oh, hey, by the way, have you heard of our other product? Is something that has worked pretty well for folks. So something to the effect, like I said, have you heard of our other product? Ended up being a $1 million annuity that Jordan wrote. So actually, I take that back. Jordan didn't write it. Amy wrote it. So Jordan didn't even have to work for it other than do the introduction. So transition naturally. Now, hey, now that we looked at your coverage, let's take a quick look at your bigger picture. There's folks that are doing it, and I believe Kyle's doing it for sure. But the FIF form, again, get with your upline. Where do you find that? And we'll go over some of that. That's part of his that's just part of his sales call, part of his interaction with the client as he goes through the FIF at the end of the call. So 4 areas you can pay attention to: assets, expenses, overpayments, and income. People talk about getting out of debt, protecting what I've built. Hey, before we wrap up, I just wanted to go over a couple things and maybe we can set up a follow-up call. So what's that always be, always not ABC? What is it, Jeff? I think you talk about that. Always set your next call. Always
Yeah,
end a call, setting your next call.
Bam fam.
There, say that again.
BAMFAM. Bam fam.
Say it again. What's that? What's it stand for?
Book a meeting from a meeting.
There it is. Thank you. I love that. Obviously, I can't remember it. Cool. Ask your upline if you have questions or ask me if you have questions.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. We're going to be learning just more about resets and what, the opportunity is for that. If you're brand new, you're probably thinking, what in the world is this about? But don't worry about it quite yet. Like we're going to start planting, like on the slide, planting those seeds so that we can really begin learning more ways to help our clients and also, ways that we can put more money in our pockets. So that's always the goal too. All right, so that is that. Today I wanted to kind of share on a follow-up from the team call that I did, I think a couple of weeks ago with Jordan on Jordan Shank's call. So I'm gonna take a quick moment and share my little slide deck with you guys. That Claude so wonderfully makes for us, which is amazing. Okay, can you guys see the slide space or slide that says talking about taking up space? Kevin, can you give me a thumbs up since you're in my screen? Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, I wanted to kind of take an opportunity and just walk through another topic, I guess, that from the coaching that I did and finished up with through Christina Watts. Those first couple that we went over, I did those on the Shank Master call, I think a couple of weeks ago. But the two topics we went over on that call were who are we when no one's watching? And then our standards and our follow through. So that's kind of what we chatted about already. But today is a little bit kind of in a different direction. And today is going to be about being seen on purpose, like kind of forcing ourselves to be seen. This is a hard one for me. So if this call is for anyone, this call is for me. So I appreciate you guys coming along on this with me. When I did the training with Christina, I knew that this was one of the topics that I was going to personally need to kind of go back through. And so going back through this for this team call, again, it's a lot of this is for me. But anyway, here's kind of the idea. It is we take up space. We take up space because in our business, being seen is literally how the people who need us find us. So let's talk about why we don't allow ourselves to be seen, and then also how do we start being seen. So hopefully I can move my slides along. Okay, I think I did. Okay, so let me start with the line that kind of reframed a lot of this for me. Christina said, playing small doesn't just limit us. Playing small doesn't just limit us. It limits everyone who needed to see us. Playing small doesn't just limit us or me. It limits everyone who needed to see us. So thinking about that just for a minute, kind of takes the focus off of us and puts it really where it belongs. When we hide, right, it's not just our income, for example, that might take a hit. It's when we're hiding, it's the family that never got covered because they never knew we existed. It's the referral we never asked for. So the person who needed help never got a call from us. It's the friend that we never told about the opportunity, this opportunity, that they may be desperately waiting to learn about. It's the post we didn't make on social media. Maybe someone needed to see, exactly on that particular day. Like there's probably a few people on this call that were like, man, I'm here because I saw so and so post something on social media, and that was exactly what I needed to see when I needed to see it. So think about how most people find like an insurance agent, for example. It's not usually on a billboard. It's that one person who kept showing up in their feed. Like a lot of people on this call are really, really good at that, kept showing up on social media feed. It's people who answered the question, who felt familiar, like by the time they finally needed it. They're like, man, I'm going to reach out to Jeff because I have been seeing him post over and over again, or Kristen over and over again. And I'm ready now to make a move with insurance. So I'm gonna reach out to them because I've been seeing them post. I know what they do, and now I'm gonna do it. But it's only if we kind of let ourselves kind of push ourselves, I guess, to be seen long before anyone on social media, for example, is ready to either get insurance or make a career change. So we tend to think that this, and I am so guilty of this, you guys, like truthfully, but Kevin's laughing. Probably I can't see the rest of my family, but they're probably laughing too. But I tend to think that staying quiet is a private little choice that only affects me or maybe you too, but it isn't. In this business, our visibility is somebody else's like protection for their family that they need, or somebody else's opportunity. So being seen isn't about ego. It's about being like findable, like people finding us when they need to. So before anybody is like overly hard on themselves, right? Like me, myself included, let's kind of be fair. Playing small isn't a character flaw. Oftentimes it is more of a survival strategy. So somewhere kind of back in our brains, most of us probably learned or felt that being visible is risky. So if we stand out or like make ourselves seen, we might get judged. People might talk about us, criticize us. They might like pick us apart, talk amongst themselves about us. They might reject us. So we get really, really good at blending in, like staying agreeable, not being too flashy, right? I'm so guilty of this, you guys. But that instinct genuinely like felt like protection at some point. So the problem is it's still running, that show is still like running right now, when what we actually need is to be seen. And it also shows up in three quiet little ways. One, overthinking. Like I should just have my hand raised the whole time on this call. Overthinking. Okay. We polish a post or a message forever, overthink, rethink, rewrite it, blah, 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 and never hit the send button. We procrastinate. We wait for the perfect moment to post. I have been guilty of this. I can't even tell you how many times, especially with conference. I get like pictures or whatever. First of all, I don't usually take enough pictures at conference, but I get pictures from conference and then I overthink and I procrastinate putting together a post about how impactful Engage Conference was, or Agency Owner 2, or whatever it was. And I never actually post it. And so then it just never shows up and I keep quiet. Silence. We just stay on mute when speaking up is exactly what really matters. None of those feel like hiding in the moment. They feel like it's being careful or safe, but added up, they're how we kind of turn ourselves down. That's true, Kristen. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So here is something worth noticing. How many times have we written something, a post, a message like to a lead even, an offer, and then delete it before sending it? The delete button is the survival instinct doing its job. It feels like it's a good decision, but most of the time it's just fear keeping us safely invisible for one more day. So here is the turn. We don't wait to be picked or chosen. We make a decision to be seen. This is just a really big deal. So the word decide, okay? The word decide literally means to cut off. A real decision eliminates other options. So deciding to be seen means we cut off hiding as an option. We stop waiting for permission, for more experience, or the right moment when we finally feel ready, because no one is coming to walk over and pull us into the spotlight. We're the ones we've been waiting for. And just to kind of be clear about what owning our space actually means, because the word, keep saying word visible scares people, me for sure, but it doesn't mean being loud. It doesn't mean being salesy. It doesn't mean being arrogant. It means we speak when it matters, when we have something to share, like an Engage conference, or bringing a new person on your team, or getting a promotion, or sharing about Engage conference. So we show up when we're nervous, and then refusing to hide the gifts that we actually have, refusing to acknowledge the gifts we actually have. Quiet people own space all the time because it doesn't have to be about being loud. It's about like not disappearing. So here is something that we can work on today, this week, and it really does make a bigger difference than it should, but it's the words that we use to make ourselves feel small, like make ourselves smaller, okay? Most of us don't even hear ourselves doing this. So I'm gonna read these out loud, but one of the things that a lot of people do is we say, sorry to bother you, or we say sorry. Our daughter, Kayla, says sorry about everything. She doesn't even need to say sorry, but she always, it's like it's in her just language. She just says sorry all the time. Now her 3 and 4-year-old kids say, I'm sorry, like constantly. It's just part of their language now, but it's always sorry. So we say, sorry to bother you, when we could just say, hey, do you have a few minutes? A lot of us say, I just wanted to check in. So drop the word just and say, hey, I'm following up because, like, intentional. We often say, this might be a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. Just ask the question. Just say, hey, here's my question. And a big one, I'm probably wrong, but. So like stop that and say, hey, here's what I think. Like, we're not wrong. We're not wrong. So you can probably hear the difference. It's the same us, right? The same request, but one version is kind of apologizing and the other is kind of owning the comment or whatever we're about to say. So the words sorry, just, this might be dumb, I'm probably wrong, and you can probably think of a bunch more, but those words leak out of us when without us even knowing. It comes in like the form of calls, voicemails, social media posts, when we're talking to clients and we're asking for business. But every time it's quietly telling the other person, don't take me seriously. Don't take me as seriously as you should. A big chunk of confidence is honestly just kind of clearing up some of the choices of words that we use. So let's get a little bit specific, because being seen can feel a little bit like vague or unclear, but owning our space actually looks like this day to day, or can look like this. And none of it is loud or fake or anything like that, but it's, for example, showing our face on video, showing our face on this call. Kevin, did you have something for me?
I think the slide went forward one. Is that what
Oh,
you're?
did it? I'm sorry.
Go
Did I
left
put it
arrow.
forward?
Left arrow. Left arrow. Left arrow.
I am doing left arrow. No?
I don't know how you go back.
Okay, well, I don't know what's happening either. Great. I lost it.
Well, yeah, just stop your presenting maybe and start and do presenting.
Okay, sorry.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know.
Thanks for
I
telling
just
me.
noticed you missed it because you were getting ready to go through it. And
Aw.
oh, no.
Yeah, it's not advancing. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay.
Slide deck over. Slide deck over.
No, that was
Okay.
practical. The practical stuff is, I like that.
I know, but I can't take time to like do technology,
Yeah.
because it just freaks me out and makes me too nervous, and then I'll just blow the whole thing. Okay, so where was I? Let's see. Yeah, showing our face on video, like on this call. That can feel a little bit awkward, but just showing up. Social media, using different like video and things like that. That can feel a little bit uncomfortable, but people like to see our faces. Speaking up on team calls, right? Speaking up on team calls, that can feel a little uncomfortable, but that is really important. Asking for the business with our clients, like asking for it, right? They're here for a reason, to get insurance. Ask for it. What about asking for referrals? That could be another one. Instead of just like hoping that referrals might come to us. Sharing a win, posting in Slack, a win that you have, posting again on social media, and a story behind it. A lot of people on this call are really, really good about sharing their win and giving the story behind it, because honestly, you guys, somebody out there needs to see that this is possible for them too. So following up like we genuinely believe we can help, because we can. And we don't have to do all of those things all at once. We don't have to do them perfectly. We're going to probably do them, not perfectly at first, but repetition is what's going to make us better. So maybe think about the one that makes you the most nervous. And that's the one that's probably a good idea to start with. So an awkward video matters more than the comfortable post that we never end up posting. Done, we do things that feel a little bit clumsy, doing something that might not feel perfect, and putting that out there beats being invisible. And that's going to just win every time. None of it requires having a big personality or a loud voice. It's just us. And we stop hiding, I guess, in those moments that would actually move the needle. So again, remember, this is mainly me trying to encourage myself that my voice, our voices are not just for us. It's really for the people who need to see what's possible. We tell ourselves that staying small is maybe humble, or maybe staying quiet, I guess, is maybe feeling humble, and that we don't want to be too much. But that's not humility. It's just kind of fear in like a different outfit or something. And the honest truth is, we cannot become who we're meant to be while we're still busy protecting what might make everybody else feel comfortable. So somebody out there maybe has been putting off protecting their family for years, and they're waiting to see someone like show up on social media And then they'll be ready to finally say yes. So hopefully that person that they can be saying yes to is us. So here is kind of a challenge as we go into the week is do one visible thing. And Christina's challenge to us was to do it in the next 72 hours. Do one thing, one visible thing in the next 72 hours. Not someday, not when it's perfect, but in the next 3 days while you still have maybe a little bit of nerve. And if we each do one thing that's a little bit uncomfortable, and we are seen, like we'll all be doing it together, right? All at the same time in the next 72 hours. So maybe it's posting a story that we keep talking ourselves out of, like a story on, on Instagram or something. Maybe it's going live on social media. Maybe it's sending a video instead of a text message. Maybe it's just an audio message rather than a text message. Maybe it's asking clients for referrals versus like texting them. Hey, do you know anybody who might be interested in this? Like ask someone. So pick one that makes you feel a little bit nervous, and then that's how you'll know it's kind of the right one. But just think about, where are we hiding and what's the one visible thing that we can do this week? Maybe post it in this chat or in the Gains Agency Slack. What one thing are you going to do in the next 72 hours to make yourself be seen? All right. Finishing what we start, picking one things that causes us to be visible and doing it in the next 3 days. So I don't know, did anybody put anything in the chat? Do you have an idea about any of this? Let's see. Alona said she's going to get back on TikTok. Tim wrote first referral app this morning. That is awesome, Tim. Congrats to you. Tim's going to get on TikTok so he can follow Alona. Anyone want to unmute and say something they're thinking about? No pressure, but if you maybe unmuting and letting us hear your voice on this call, maybe that's something. Yeah, Kristen, I'm thinking about those 100 texts as well. I have a sticky note about that on my desk. One post on personal social media, not just LinkedIn. Yeah, that's a big one, Kevin. Awesome. Well, hopefully that gives all of us kind of something to be thinking about and how we can be seen and show up this week. Well, that's about it. That's all I have for us today, you guys. All right. Anybody have any comments, questions, thoughts before we wrap today? I love that we had, at one point, I think over 40 people on our call today. So that is really fun. So thanks for showing up. And I have a full screen of 25 or so faces. So that's pretty fun. So anyway, you guys, well, let's kick off week 2 of June with a bang. Let's, show up, be visible, and everyone have a great week.
So good.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Bye, guys.
See you guys in the Mac
All.
room.
See
See you
ya.
guys.